Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you for tuning in again. Or if you're new, welcome. This is Ray all day on YouTube. These Ray Boulevard streets is popping, y'all. We putting out videos. And I heard that a little birdie told me that there may be a collab coming soon. Once it's confirmed, I will let you know. Ooh-wee. Have y'all been watching Reasonable Doubt on Hulu? Child, now, season 2 is out, but like I mentioned before, I wanted to catch you up to speed because season 1 leads into season 2. And then within season 1, they keep doing throwbacks to reference what they're speaking of present day because it adds context, right? I love shows like that when it's written well and it's relatable. And of course, I'm from Southern California, LA area, so being based out of LA even makes it even sweeter. Yes. Anywho, for those of you who love a good drama, suspense, thriller with a little humor, this is the show for you. Again, this is Reasonable Doubt, season 1, and we're talking about episode 7. You can catch it on Hulu, from my understanding. Now let's just jump on in real quick, right? Child, season 1, episode 7 is a trip. I can't wait to get to to episodes 8 and 9. There's only 2 left after this. Woo, okay, so there's a lot about Lewis in this episode because, a lot about Lewis is going to affect season 2 from my understanding. And child, they're giving Lewis pretty much the whole episode. It starts off with Lewis finishing his game. He's listening to that song by Weak Meal. I don't know what it's called, so I'm really not a fan of his like that. However, he's listening to his song, the very famous song. A lot of folks know. Again, I don't know. I'm sure you guys do once you watch the show. And he's finishing the game that he's curating that his son spoke about before. And he's waiting for the kids in the next episode, in the next scene, and he runs into Toni. Now, Toni was one of the chicks he saw at JT's get together, and she was involved in a threesome with JT and some other chick. She was receiving what the other chick was giving, while JT was giving something to the other chick. Okay, can you catch what I'm throwing? Okay. And he walked in on them and kind of walked out like, OMG. So then what's funny is, just the FYI tangent a little bit, Lewis sees Toni helping Chanel, who was married to JT, with the birthday party that they went to in the other episode. I'm like, See how folks do you, screwing your husband over there, and now she helping her with the party bags and over here. Child, please. Anywho, so he figured, she easy and it is what it is. So he's waiting for his kids. They all go to the same school, and then Toni comes by to so-called check on him and kind of mentions she's feeling the temperature in the room there, throwing out certain comments like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up Jax." He's like, "No, we're good. We're working through things, And she was like, "Well, if you ever want to, talk or communicate, because Naima loves hanging out with her child's name, whoever her child's name is, I forgot." And she offers, and she gives her phone number, puts her phone number in his cell phone. Mm-hmm. You see how hoes do? Anywho, so then they go off, and she's like, I hope to talk to you soon, real soon. Mm-hmm. I bet she do. And he caught what she was throwing. He caught it. Underhand throw, underhand catch. So next we got Brayden and Sara on the way to court. He shows her pics of them, and she's like, "That was just me trying to suppress Ryan. He's trying to say that there's more to the story." You know, she pretty much lying to him. Child. So then he reassures her that, you know, she's the one, she's his person and everything, and she holds his hands as he pledges his love for her in the car. Yeah, okay. So next we see Fallon on the stand talking about an email from Kellisha. Um, and Kellisha's going on about how Brayden is not going to leave his wife, and how Brayden is trifling, and she wants to go on Good Morning America. She wants Fallon to help her get ready and everything, and you know, it's just pretty much substantiating that there's motive for Brayden to murder her, well, 187 her. And so Jax destroyed that whole thing because Jax brought up the fact that, well, didn't you have some issues with your cousin? You actually slapped her after an argument between you and her. And Fallon confirmed it, saying, well, she was, you know, I had to protect my daughter, and it was on my daughter's honor. And it didn't seem good because the DA put his head in his hands like, oh, man. So there's a third option as far as who took Kellisha out. Of course, Brayden, the one that's being tried. Then we got the husband. Now we got the cousin who's been professing, you know, that Kellisha get justice. You know, so always the loud ones, right? That's what they say. That's what they say. So then more trial prep, and they're finding a discrepancy in the paperwork. Come to find out, it's coming from the CSI who worked the case at the scene. So she got to figure out what the heck is going on. And every time there's a discrepancy found, we always know that it's something going on, and with them popo. So we gonna see what's going on. Then she texts Damon, but again, no answer. He's pretty much leaving her on red. Okay, like, I ain't trying to fool with you, lady. So next we got Lewis picking up the kids. And he kind of busts Spencer. As soon as Spencer say, "Hey, Dad, how you doing?" Yeah. So the teacher told me you forged my signature. Yeah, wait till your mom hear about this. So Spencer's just, you know, waiting for mom to lay into him, and she did. Both Lewis and Jax, you know, just going in and in and in, and Naima just enjoying, like, yeah, now it's your turn. So Spencer's in trouble. No, he's on punishment. No, nothing exciting for the next 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. And Lewis is like, I don't need this right now. I got so much going on. I just want to go home and smoke and put my feet up. She was like, that sounds like a good idea. Now, why they end up smoking at her house, afraid to wake the kids up or whatever that he said? I'm like, y'all just out in the open, letting the fumes go through the house. Now, this is going to make a memory for these kids. I'm like, I know I ain't tripping. They could have been on the balcony, or, you know, in her room, or maybe in the back. I don't know. It just seemed very just wrong, because they don't seem like the type that would want to put that in front of their kids. But then again, maybe some will come about this in season 2. They just seem so irresponsible. Anywho, they pretty much, you know, was about to start getting it on, and then she gets a text from the coroner's office or the medical lab or whatever, because she's trying to figure out some stuff with her case. And Lewis is pressuring her not to answer the phone, which is why he moved out, because of her career getting in the way of them, according to him. So she takes the call and he leaves while she's on the phone. Oh, man. Next, we got Lewis talking to his brother, and pretty much the brother's like, man, what's going on? Well, you know, Jax got the kids, so. He was like, what? He didn't know that they were separated. So he finally comes clean to the brother. and the brother pledges his allegiance to his brother Lewis. Like, well, you know, I don't give a, I love her to death, but you know, you my brother. I got your back regardless. You know, bros before you know who. Next, we got Dan. Dan is the PI, don't forget, and he's working for Jax, trying to, you know, get some things together. Remember, he's the one who got beat up trying to follow Kellisha's cousin, who was messing up her HOA situation and was kicked out, stole her laptop, and that's how he bought it back with the help of Jax, scaring her into thinking she can go to jail for obstruction of justice, just lying to her a little bit, but yet again, they still got what they wanted. They gave her some money and everything. But anyway, Dan approaches the plug that he uses at the Popo office, then runs into the CSI in question regarding the document that they noticed was a little different. There was a discrepancy. So she's like, eyes fidgety and rolling. Oh, shoot, they caught me. Okay, so now we know she's done something for the favor of the DA's office that could possibly be an issue for their case and be somewhat of a positive on Jax's side. So he ran into her in the hallway and he's asking her about her report and how it's different and could it possibly be whatever. And she's like, well, I had to redo it. And pretty much it is what it is. Okay, bye. He's like, no. It ain't bye. Can I see the original? And she was like, giving him a hem and haw, pussy popping, backpedaling, pussy popping, as guilty people always do. And so he's like, I don't want to have to subpoena, do I? Or whatever he said. Maybe not subpoena, but whatever it is, he don't want to have to go over her head. And so Jax calls while he's in the middle of that, and she kind of walks off, and he's telling her, yeah, she him and Han backpedaling and pussy popping about this paperwork. She's like, okay, well, I got something else in mind. And woo. So, you know, after all that's said and done, next we see RJ talking to Damon all about CJ talking with Damon at the shop about the lick that CJ got. Damon's getting involved. At first he didn't want to, now he is. So apparently Damon's on the take, y'all, and he gonna end up doing something he ain't supposed to do. I know it. Got dealing with his brother, doing some stuff he ain't supposed to be doing. Next, we see Autumn. She visits Jax at work, brings her some food, letting her know, I got your back. I know you're busy with all this going on, so I figured you want something to eat, you know, knowing how your schedule is. And she brings her some warm macaroni and cheese that somebody made. Ain't like a good macaroni and cheese, you know, after you real hungry, been working all day. Something kind of comforting, you know what I'm saying? And it must have been good because you heard that noise. You know how that noise that you hear when you stirring around macaroni and cheese, child. I don't know, that was good. So then they also talk about vacay bay, and Jax is letting Autumn know that, well, you know, things are still what they are, and I'm just gonna have to let him know that it is what it is, and if he can't respect it, then he's just gonna have to not expect it. Okay, so Autumn just agreed and said, well, take it easy. I'll see you later, girl. Next, we got Lewis at Simply Wholesome. That's a great healthy eating store plus market plus now trip this. They have a guy there. I think he's part owner, if not the husband. And he's an iridologist where he would look into the iris of your eyes. I don't know exactly what he uses or if he uses any machinery or what, but he looks into your eyes and determines some sickness about yourself. I always wanted to go, but after an incident happened there, I haven't been back. I don't want to say what happened. It's not like an employee attacked me or anything like that. It's just that I haven't been back there in years, maybe since 2017. Shoot, it's been a while. Anyway, I think I may go just to get that type of experience, with the homeopathic experience that I never really had before. Anywho, Lewis is at Simply Wholesome, sees JT, and JT invites him to one of his freak offs. What we find out is a freak off, and he finds that it's maybe interesting, but he don't know it's a freak off until he get there. He think it's just homeboys coming to watch the game, but it's at his friend's house, not at his house, where Chanel will find out. And child, guess who he finds there in a threesome with JT and some girl. Now JT is the giver to the girl, while the girl is giver to Toni, and Toni is the receiver of the girl. You catch what I'm saying, right? Okay. And so he walks in and sees Toni there. He's like, oh shoot. And she just gave him his number the other day. OMG. So now he knows Toni is somebody he can depend on in a time of sexual gratification needs. Okay. So that's that on that. After Jax's mixed call that he got, Lewis, he goes to her house to see what's going on. He figures this was an open window for him to get with Jax and really, straighten some things out. But he finds the babysitter there. He's like, oh, where's Jax? She's like, well, she had to go out. And so she called me at the last minute. But she did leave an address to where she'll be in case, of whatever. Child, why did the babysitter say that? So, why did the babysitter say that? Girl, why? Why? But before that, let's rewind a little bit. Now, after all that, Chanel, just to go back to that, Chanel has a party. Chanel and JT has a party for the kid, right? And Toni is there. Like I said, she's sleeping with JT, doing threesomes with him, trying to get with the homie Lewis. And now she's there helping Chanel with party favors and carrying on. And also she's questioning Jax. Oh, it's so good to see you and Lewis here. But you was just the other day, Toni ain't worth a window nor the pot. She ain't worth the pot nor the window, child. I mean, really, I cannot believe this. So now Chanel approaches Lewis and lets him know that I'm really happy that that Jax is in love with you and that you're in love with her. And I really hope that you guys work out. And he was like, what do you mean? You guys talk? She said, well, girls talk. He said, well, I don't want to really, invade that privacy. Where she was like, no, it's fine. It's just that I see her lighter now, happier now. And Lewis is looking like, but she's not that way with me, but she's that way with her friend. See, it's all about perception. And look, we grown. This is grown folks conversation, right? Whenever someone tells you that your spouse seems happier, seems in the midst of y'all going through, and the person talking to you knows that y'all going through, but you're experiencing something different, that means trouble in paradise. It really does. And Lewis ain't stupid at all. Lewis ain't stupid. So Lewis is thinking, like, what is going on? She's displaying happiness over here. So somebody's making her happy. And the show ain't me, because we always getting into it. We be, chilling, but then again, things don't really go the way that it should be going. So anyway, Jax getting effed by Damon, child. Ooh, from the back. Now, I don't know exactly which from the back they doing, but child, she is just enjoying. Look, we grown. Folks, hey, we grown, okay? And he is trying to have Jax profess her love for him. Damon is just pretty much all in. And then Jax, when they're all said and done, Jax immediately goes into the shower and her phone is texting her. Well, someone's texting her on her phone's going off. And Damon looks at her phone, sees it's from the security guard, and he erases them. Security guard's like, man, talk to you, was real urgent, I need to see you. And so, ciao. But like I said, when Lewis went to the house to see about the kids, um, he found that Jackson, he got the address from the babysitter and went to that address and found that Jax was on a date with Damon, and they was looking real lovey-dovey, and he was not happy at all. So next we got Lewis visiting Jack's mom, and they're talking about Jax, and mom almost told a secret. This is new. Mom almost told us a secret about her husband, who was Jack's stepfather, and Jax. And Lewis was like, "What do you mean? You know, the thing that happened between Jax and so and so." She was like, "Well, it's just something, that we're all said and done about, and I'm just so glad that he's back. He's healthy and woo." So that's something else that Lewis kind of needs to get clarified from Jax. Like, what happened between her and her stepfather? I want to know too, because this is something very new. Even though when he came back after those 10 years in the other episode, Jax was very, very upset about her mom taking him back. And I can pretty much almost guess what that was. It had to be something that made Jax not want to ever see him again. And we all kind of know what that could have been. I hope it's not what I think it is, but things be going on. So, pretty much the next scene we see, there's a lot of back and forth, and he's just ready to go. So we see Jax picking up Damon from work. His brother's like, "Are you gonna be ready for tomorrow?" He's like, Yeah. It's all good. So things don't go well between Jax and Damon, but at the same time, they're still just getting it on, and she's just enjoying the moment, and he's thinking there's going to be more than a moment. Then we see Lewis calling Toni, and next thing you know, Toni's pulling out a condom. Next thing you know, Lewis is standing up with Toni holding on to his neck, and he got them legs on either side of him, and it's pound town. Bow, 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 bow. Ciao. After all that pound town, Lewis talks with his brother and said he's done with Jax. Ciao. I can't wait to see episode 8. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. I appreciate you. What you think? You think Jax and Damon is going to be a couple? You think Jax is going to break up with her husband for Damon? Shout the way Jax was moaning and groaning when him hitting it from the back. I don't know. Whew. All I know is I can't wait to episode 8. And I know you can't either. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll check you next time. Bye. Ray, Ray,